You do not want to be with somebody who's going to look at you doing what you're supposed to do, look at your light and the people who it attracts, and then be angry that it's so bright. Go put on sunglasses and mind your own business. Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about intimidation. These days when I go out, I meet new people, I have conversations with them about my life, what I want to do with my life, what I am doing with my life. One of the questions that seems to be coming up constantly is the matter of, do you think that men will find you intimidating? And I know I'm not the only one who is experiencing this, who is hearing this question. Most women who are in their late 20s to 30s, single, ambitious, successful, you are going to hear it either directly or from some oddball on a podcast that you have disqualified yourself from finding a quality man to be with because you're too successful, you're too ambitious, and it is intimidating to men. There is something about a woman who is self-assured, who has clarity, who is working for better, who is treating themselves well, who is healed or healing, that just kind of rubs some people the wrong way. And if I'm being honest, rub on. I could not care less that there are people, there are men who will look at me and say that I am intimidating. Why? Because the ways that I am intimidating are not a threat to anybody who is meant to be in my life. The way you are intimidating is not a threat to anyone who is meant to be in your life. When I think of the whole concept of intimidation, it falls into two brackets for me. One is a bad type of intimidation, and the other is an absolutely irrelevant type of intimidation. And I am going to share with you both of them so you can see where you fit in. And if you fit into the irrelevant type, I need you to start to dust that off of your shoulder and stop listening and caring what these irrelevant people say about you walking in your purpose and in the abundance of who you were created to be. So, if you're intimidating in a bad way, one of the ways that you'll know is that you are operating from a place of your ego. You're not kind, you're not patient, you're self-centered, and you bring people down. Yes, you have success, yes, you have ambition and drive, but it's really a personality thing. You think that you are better than every single person around you, so you don't even give people an opportunity, you don't give them a chance, you don't give them a chance to speak, and that is why they are intimidated by you. If this is the type of intimidation that people feel when they're around you, it's a bad thing, and it's something that you definitely need to work on, because you will be missing out on opportunities to experience great people, to be put in certain rooms because you don't know how to act, so they don't want to put you in there. So if this is the type of way that you operate, if you're operating from a place of your ego and that's why you are intimidating, then you need to fix up and do better. Another negative way that you can be intimidating is if you're harsh or rigid. There is something to be said for boundaries. I am all for people having boundaries, especially women. Having clarity, know what you want out of life, know what you need and what you don't have room for. But with that being said, give grace. If you're being honest, the woman that you are now, you were not this woman 5 years ago. You were not this woman maybe even 5 months ago. And for you to walk around and act as if you're self-made or you just arrived at this place means that you're not giving people the opportunity to grow in the same way that you've had the opportunity to grow. As I said, I am all here for boundaries, but at the same time, give people grace. Give them the chance to try. Give them the chance to make a mistake and do better. And don't be a harsh person, because if you are harsh, if you are rigid, if you see things only in one way and you're not willing to see them any other way, you are going to be intimidating. And this type of intimidation is going to block off blessings. As I said with the first one, it's going to block you off from getting to encounter new people, because the moment they do one thing that you could have brushed off, that you could have given them grace on, that was an honest mistake that you could have given them a pass on, that you could have communicated and potentially they could have done better with, you are going to lock them off. And if you have that no nonsense principle energy constantly, you are going to be intimidating people. And it's not because you're successful, it's because you're harsh. The third way that you could be intimidating in a bad way is if you are a mean person. It doesn't matter how much accolades you have. It doesn't matter the money you make. Nobody wants to be constantly around somebody who is mean. And maybe this is why you are intimidating. If you are walking around being mean to everyone, constantly angry, you don't come off as warm, you don't come off as light, you don't come off as approachable, people don't even need to hear your resume to know that they want nothing to do with you. The intimidation has absolutely nothing to do with your success or your ambition. It's strictly because they don't want to be around you. You suck the energy, the life out of the room. You're mean. You don't have patience. And who's going to want to date somebody who doesn't seem nice? If you're mean, people are going to be intimidated by you. And this is not just going to be men who are going to be intimidated by you. It's going to be women. It's going to be children. It's going to be animals, because that lack of warmth, that coldness that you walk in is going to detract any and everything from you. There's only so long that we can be around people who are mean. Like, put yourselves in other people's shoes. Have you ever wanted to constantly be around someone who was mean-spirited? What happened to you when you were? So maybe the intimidation is coming from that place and not because of the accolades. So if you're somebody who constantly walks around angry, jilted, scorned, go heal. Take the time you need to yourself and be able to approach people from a place of warmth and see how they will also reciprocate that energy back to you. So now let's talk about all the ways that being intimidating is absolutely irrelevant and it does not matter to you, because it has nothing at all to do with you. Being intimidating is absolutely irrelevant to you if you are moving in the abundance of your purpose. And people are mad about that. This is my capacity as a human being. This is what I was put on the earth to do. And as an act of love and appreciation to myself and to my maker, I am going to walk in the fullness of it. That energy pisses off some people. They will literally look at you doing your best, being your best, happy, unbothered, minding your own business. And they will look at you and just ask themselves, like, who does she think she is? And the real question that these people should be asking themselves is, who do I think I'm not? Because if they see you walking in your abundance, they need to start doing that for themselves. Because if they were doing it for themselves, they would not be concerned with you, because they'd be way too busy doing their own stuff. So there are people who will literally look at your light, the light that you exude, the energy that you have, and they will be angry about it, because it reminds them that they're not walking in theirs. And at the end of the day, if you are intimidating people because of something that you can't control, or because you're walking in your truth, that doesn't then become your responsibility to be concerned with that. The men who will see you and be mad at the fact that you do nice things for yourself, they don't matter, friend. They literally do not matter, because those aren't even the guys that you want anyway. You do not want to be with somebody who's going to look at you doing what you're supposed to do, look at your light and the people who it attracts, and then be angry that it's so bright. Go put on sunglasses and mind your own business. Like, these are not the people we want. These are not the people to concern yourself with. And it's inevitable that people are going to be mad when you're walking in your purpose, because our purposes come with so many rewards. When you're being obedient to what you're supposed to do in life, life is going to thank you by giving you more opportunities, more path, more people to connect with. And anybody who's not doing that for themselves and looks at you is going to be angry or potentially even intimidated by that, just by virtue of the fact that they have hater energy. And truly, you're too busy being great to be indulging people who are operating in hater energy, or paying attention to them, or considering them as you're walking in your truth, right? You're just living your life and somebody's mad, and that's really not gonna ever be something worth your time to concern yourself with. Another irrelevant type of intimidation that you do not need to concern yourself with is when men are intimidated by you because they are projecting. As I said, you walk in your purpose, you walk in your light, you do what you're meant to do. There are going to be people who are going to be mad. And some of those people are upset because seeing you walk in your light, seeing you walk in your truth, seeing you get everything that is meant to be yours reminds them of the fact that they are not accessing everything that's meant to be theirs. They look at you spend money on yourself, and then they decide that they would never spend that type of money on you. So now they get angry at you for doing something for yourself that you never even asked them to do. They see you doing what you need to do. They see you striving for the absolute best version of your life that you can possibly have. They see the standard that you hold yourself to, and that frustrates them because they want access to you, but they are not yet willing or able to do what would be required to maintain you. And instead of being able to say, well, you know what, maybe I have some growing to do, maybe I have some work to do, maybe I just have some inner self-confidence to do, they are going to get angry at you because who do you think you are to operate in a way where I want access to you and I can't get it because your standard is too high for me, a standard that you maintain for yourself that you never asked me to maintain. And that's projection, friends. Like, what are we supposed to do with that? What is your concern with that? Absolutely nothing, because at the end of the day, that person has work to do on themselves. If somebody sees you and says, oh, these women are getting too many degrees, they're too ambitious, they're making too much money, and what guy is going to put up with that? What guy is going to be able to spend like that? Don't say what guy, just say it with your chest, admit it, comes to terms that you are not that guy, and that's absolutely okay. Just because you are not that guy doesn't mean that other guys aren't going to be that guy, because trust me, there are some guys who are that guy. Trust me. When you are intimidating in an irrelevant way, the best part about it is that those men who are angry about it, who don't get it, they are going to self-reject themselves. They're going to look at you and they are going to project, as I said, they're going to say, this girl is doing too much, and because of that, I could never be with her. I'm not even interested in her. When in fact, they probably absolutely are. But for whatever reason, they feel that they can't step to you and talk to you. And in truth, this is the biggest win that you could ever have as a woman with clarity and as a woman with vision, because you do not want to end up wasting your time with somebody who, instead of being a partner with you, instead of being a covering with you, instead of being equally yoked with you, turns you into their competitor because they are angry at all of the ways that you're succeeding. You do not want to compete with your partner. Anybody who is intimidated by you just by virtue of you walking in the truth and in the purpose that you were put on this earth for, you do not want to spend a second with those people, because one, they'll compete with you, as I said, and two, if you end up falling for a person like that by accident, you will end up minimizing your whole life to fit into the picture that they have for you. And what's the point of that? Like, Jesus Christ didn't die on the cross for you to be out here minimizing yourself for somebody who's not walking in their purpose. Like, all good things will be yours, including all the success of the life that you're meant to live, as well as a man who can handle that, who has the capacity for that, and who is more than happy to partner with you and not compete with you as you both continue to reach the levels that you're meant to and purpose to on this earth. So friend, if you are intimidating, that's okay. Not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. Do you like yourself? Do you feel that who you are and the way you're walking is a form of self-love, is a form of obedience, is a form of greatness, and a love letter? Is your life a love letter to your potential and to the fact that you are on this earth? If the answer to any and every of those questions is yes, have peace, be patient, and continue to do what you need to do to make sure that when, not if, but when that person who is meant for you meets you, you'll be at the perfect place and you'll be like, hey, we've been waiting for you. We've been doing the work. We've been putting in the time, and we're so excited and ready to be together with you. Those men who have a Wi-Fi connection and a microphone are going to continue to talk. They're going to continue to say that women are intimidating, that if you're in your 30s, you're not going to find a man. If you're too ambitious, you've counted yourself out, you've disqualified yourself. But you don't want to be with someone like that anyway. And as long as you continue to do what you need to do, what you feel is right, have faith for every single other part of your life to be added to you at the exact right moment. Continue to walk in who you're meant to be. Continue to intimidate those who have work to do, and continue to be the full abundance of this person you were put on earth to be. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.